What are you drinking over there?
This is a sake mojito.
Sake mojito. And what brings you to a Thai restaurant on this beautiful afternoon?
It's my go-to on Fridays. Thai is one of my favorite restaurants. So,
Nick Rico, everybody, of KNucks, mynucks.com. How are you doing today, man?
good. Can't complain. It's beautiful out. It's about 100 degrees outside. Had a good day at work, and now I'm ready to wind down and enjoy the weekend.
So, we all kind of have our own things that we're doing, but what you're doing over here, you're really starting something up from the ground up, by yourself on your own. Want to give us a little quick background as to kind of where you got here and how you got here, about your brand specifically?
Sure. It's well, first off, I don't recommend anyone doing anything that I do by myself because it's definitely more than I thought it was going to be. But I have to see it through. So, but started about 5 years ago, I'd say. It actually wasn't a spray; it was the underwear that I started with. I came up with Nux underwear because of my love for sneakers, and I just like the fit of sneakers on my feet, and I wanted to create something that kind of replicated that around, you know, my waist. I just felt like underwear is kind of, not interesting. It's all the same stuff, and I wanted to do something different. I had a concept,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't really work. So after talking with my shoe designer about putting the concept together, he actually was like, well, why don't you come up with like a potpourri spray is how it started. And I'm like, dude, no one wants smelly balls. Like you don't want to, spray anything that's gonna. So it started with that. And I kind of left it at that and just made the underwear and was like, this is not a good idea. And
So it's safe to say the focus has been on the balls. All right.
yeah, the focus was on the undercarriage. I wanted to be a men's brand first,
Mhm.
and I wanted a niche. So um, I felt that that would be easier for me to do something that was kind of different. Just being that we kind of not neglect that area, but I feel like, um, we do. Like we don't really care for ourselves in the same way as women do, and I want to kind of change the perception of male like care. Kind of like that was kind of the focus, whether it's your underwear and then with the spray product.
Yeah. So kind of rewind though. When did you get into this, entrepreneurial spirit, because not everyone just wakes up and all of a sudden here they are. It seems you've definitely done quite a few things prior to that. So when did you stumble upon this world?
My work background's actually the companies I've worked for have given me, they've been how do you say, entrepreneurial spirited companies.
Okay.
Uh, I worked for startups that had funding that we were doing different things. So my last company was in the landscape supply industry, and they were growing rapidly, and they had no idea what they were doing. So it was a lot of like, it's like an art project. Every day you're trying something, it doesn't work, then you try something else, and um, a lot of critical thinking involved, and you're not just like a mold. You're actually like putting ideas together like a think tank, and you're coming up with ways to, so my experience, I launched a clothing line out of college for like rapper Ice T when I had an internship, and that's
All
like
right.
how,
You actually were working with IC?
yeah, him and we did, his line was terrible, but I worked for a licensing company, and we were hired to like do his brand, and the clothes were terrible, but we launched it in a strip club. We had like, we were doing it was fun, but it was terrible clothing. It was horrible tasting.
Oh man. So you kind of got to do entrepreneurial things. You got to be like firsthand right there under somebody else's dime, pretty much, right? So they were making all the mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, no, I made a lot of mistakes. I've done, my career path wasn't like, straight as an arrow. It was definitely like a work in progress, kind of
Hmm.
like find your parachute. I do have a fashion background though. I went to FIT. I do have a degree in in cosmetics and fragrance marketing. So it's not way off.
FIT, what does that stand for?
It's the Fashion Institute of Technology. It's in New York.
Oh, okay. I think that's where our previous guest went there. Justina Kedra. This is like a blast from the past. A previous one of our guests. So that's pretty cool. I'm almost like pretty positive that's where she went. Go ahead.
FIT was pretty. It wasn't a regular school,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, it was very creative. It was in the city. All my friends went to state colleges and they were partying and we were sewing fucking dresses and I wasn't because I didn't, mine was more business, but it was much more like a focus school. It wasn't a party school. However, my guys were all like, we all went out, we all like had fun. We had, but everyone else was very like not into the party thing there. So
Do you think, did you get any backlash from that? Like where people are like, oh man, this guy, getting into like this kind of industry. I'm sure you heard something, right? At some point.
Yeah. I mean, actually I always wanted to, before going to FIT, I always wanted to have my own line of something.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted my name on something, but I didn't know, I didn't know what I wanted it to be. I mean, I didn't know what I was going to do. And I certainly wasn't a clothing designer. I'm more of a numbers guy. I mean, my skill sets were more in like analytics. I actually had, I was more into like, direct marketing where you were like, number crunching and then Excel spreadsheets. And it's not very creative at all. And then, but cosmetics always interested me. I always like, even with my mom, I always like shopping in that product area. I always found it very interesting, the packaging, because it's very touch and feely.
It is.
And underwears too, but the underwear I kind of wanted. It's kind of weird, and you might think, "What the fuck is this guy thinking?" But you can bleep that out. But I was like, there's no like Victoria's Secret for men, right? So I kind of wanted to fit this like. I felt like there wasn't that, and I don't mean it in like a sexual way. It's more of like there's no like men's go-to for like essential. Like you go to Macy's and you shop in a god awful like section of like men's products, or you go to. There's really nothing like that for us. So I kind of wanted to, and that would be like the bigger vision. Would it be something like that where it was focused around, us, and our stuff. So
I don't know. That's definitely a good way to look at it. And did you were you working, are you still working other businesses now? Or are you fully into KNucks or how?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fully into it, but obviously I have to pay the bills. I'm definitely not rich. And even with any, either product line is not, it's going to require a lot of funding to move it forward. It's just not, it's going to require a lot of capital, so I have to work. So I work in the tree industry, and I also detail cars on the weekends. So.
Oh man,
yeah.
you really do it all. Do you feel that you're using kind of what you've learned, right, to what you're doing now, right? Obviously.
Yeah, my current job, very much so. It's teaching me a lot of valuable things for the production aspect of my business. So it's all relatable, and even the cars. I mean, the concept of the undercarriage brand actually came from the vehicle. Like we always,
Oh, okay.
So
That
the
makes
name
sense.
actually using that term was actually from working at the car wash. So.
And now, like, have you had enough time though? Do you feel like you could have been further than where you're at right now if you had more time to devote to KNucks?
No, I think the product, it took time to develop two lines. I think I could have, like, I made the underwear first, and then rather than taking a break and trying to like bring that to market, I wanted to create both products I wanted both product lines developed, and then I wanted to test them. The underwear, the features had to be tested. You have so many different features on it. So you couldn't bring it to market without knowing if the features worked. and I'm still trying to get like a utility patent. So in order to do that, it has to like solve a problem. So you have to kind of put it to use.
Mhm.
And the spray, the development process for that, to do all the testing, it takes a while. So I think the timing happened organically. I mean, we wouldn't have gotten it where I think it's where it needs to be now. I think we have a good product now, but in the beginning I didn't have a name for it. It wasn't the 3-in-1. And we certainly, changed the formula a few times. So, it's kind of like putting a puzzle together, and when it's ready to go, it's right. You can't really rush the creative process. It's got to happen, you know?
Yeah, you definitely can't rush it. And there's a lot of people out there, just trying to come up with products all the time. And they ask me, this question all the time, like, how do you take a product from, just an idea, just a little vision in your head, to actually getting the physical product itself, which you have just sent us some samples of. So we're excited to be able to try them out. How did you like that process? Like, what stood in the way? How many milestones, and like how many times did you get, hit hard where you fell back down
Um,
about the process?
it's really hard to get suppliers to work with you my suppliers they're not startups.
Mhm.
My spray manufacturer is, they're big. I mean, they do stuff for, you know, big companies, L'Oreal. I mean, they're not, so, the people who develop the product with me are, they know what they're doing, it's not like I did it myself. So I do have, but to bring my vision, to find the right people to bring the vision is hard. Because I contacted about 50 aerosol spray manufacturers, and none of them were able to do the product I wanted.
Wow. So were you about to give up?
Yeah, I mean, I sent RFPs to like so many companies for the formula that I wanted, and then the application of it was a problem with where I wanted to put it. People wouldn't make the product for me. I couldn't do it myself anyway. So, it starts with that. I had to reach out to suppliers that would, and not all of them want to do custom formulas. They want to just push out. You could buy deodorant in China and just put your name on it. Everyone can do that. You can
Yep.
go to Aeron deodorant and you can buy a product. We didn't do that. We did this. We made our own product, and it's a refresher spray. It wasn't. We didn't break down an existing product and try to reformulate that. We made our own product. So that process is, now that we have that, we can expand on it. But not having anything and not doing this ever, it's crazy to do what I'm doing. It doesn't make any sense.
No, but it's interesting because that's how you kind of get to, just having an average product and just being another product on the shelf over something new and revolutionary and something, a game changer. And how did you keep going though? Through 50 denials, what kept you going?
It may have been more than that. And then, and not being established and being, people don't want to, they're even finding the underwear supplier, I mean, a local one in New York City. I mean, they deal with my underwear supplier does very high-end stuff for Donna Karen, so the quality, I couldn't find someone in college to make my patterns because they were too intricate. It wouldn't have, so, and the advice from him was, when I first approached my clothing designer, this guy Teddy, who's awesome, in New York, he turned me down. He's like, he ran from the underwear. He hated it. I sent him the tech pack, and he looked at it and he's like, this is a monster. He's like, you've created a monster and I have nothing to do with it. And I said, you're going to effing do it. I said, I want you to do it. I don't care what it takes. I was basically threatening him to do it. That's how it started. And then we had a few Skype calls, and then I was like, give me the fucking pattern maker. And she did stuff for Calvin Klein. I needed someone that can construct, because I had an idea, but the way that I had it, it was not functionable. I had a detachable flap. It's no way it would have been production ready. And I couldn't I needed someone to help me figure it out. And nobody wants to do that because it's time, right? And they're not going to get an order from you right away. But I pretty much didn't give an option. I threatened him, and I was like, we're going to work together with. I threatened all my suppliers. It's the wrong way to do business. I don't recommend.
Probably not the best advice, right?
But I'm assertive, and when I want something done, I can do it. But I got it done. That's the point. But it was not done, the right way.
So threaten with ease, right? Did you? I'm sure there had to be some money involved, though, right? I mean, you had to throw some money their way, decent chunk, I would think.
A lot of money. I mean, you have to make the prototypes. Yeah, I mean, he charged me a lot more to make the patterns, to make I could have went to someone in school to make me a pattern. I could have actually made the pattern myself.
Mm-hmm.
But your pattern is is probably the most important thing you do. That's like where you start with. So if you don't have it right, and later on you go down, you're gonna have a problem. So I knew that I wanted an experienced pattern maker that has made underwear before.
Got it.
That we can like really get the fit right. I mean, there's a lot more to it. It's a small piece, but the work involved in my underwear is more than dresses. Like, he makes dresses and he's like, they're easier than yours. So just to get it's a lot of work. So it's not.
So, I mean, but this could go with any product pretty much, right? So it kind of shows the importance of the first parts, the design process, and getting that first one done in such a way that then later it could be duplicated, right? Replicated.
Yeah, the underwear took about 2 protos to get right, which was I thought it was pretty awesome. I mean, the idea actually, the pull tab I didn't know was going to be able to work, and everyone told me that a leather label couldn't be attached to like an elastic. No one does that, so that was because it doesn't stretch leather. So there was like problems with that in the washing of it. So there was a lot of people telling me I couldn't do something, and I just kept doing it. And now now that it's done, I'm focused on just I want to get people to I want to introduce it to the world, and I want people to buy my products, and I want retailers to work with me. So
I mean, yeah, you're definitely well on your way, and we're excited for you, especially being able to see the product firsthand. But this is definitely something that I know a lot of people are curious about. But what kept you? What would you tell them as a word of advice to get past all these can'ts, you won't make it happen, this is impossible? Like, what is the one thing that yes, you were resilient and you kept going, but what's that thought in your mind that you can share with somebody else that's going through the same process and they're about to give up?
Honestly, I wanted to give up so many times that I can't really. I mean, you just can't. I'm a passionate person, so it's, for me, I like to see things through. So it's not for everybody. I wouldn't. Yeah, and at some point you have to learn when to like fold your cards too. I mean, if I didn't get like my dermatologist test, I wouldn't have done the spray. If I couldn't get the claims that, like, if it wasn't safe, I wouldn't have, we would have it would have cost more money. We would have had to reformulate and then retest, and you have to pay each test. Like, every scent that you put in there is a different formula. So we only have 2 variations, but you have to pay to test each one.
What are we looking? I'm just curious. What are we looking at in terms of costs about for like a test? How much? How bad?
Depending on what you test. In the penile area, which I did human test, but if I did like a penile macacal test, that's about $4,000 a formula. The dermatologist test is between 2 and 3 for the standard, like, patch test. But there's, based on your formula, there's additional tests that you can do. For hours, I mean, those are you want to minimally do a safety test.
Mm-hmm.
A perception test I would have done, but I did that more through my surveys. But those, you hire market researchers to, have them, they give the product and have people give those can be upwards of $15,000. Packaging design is about $15,000 to $30,000 to have someone do. If you're not doing it yourself, that's about the cost to like design.
Did you say 15 to 20,000?
For the yeah, there's a lot. There's engineers involved, and
For like we're talking for like the spray bottle, right?
to yeah, to make, yeah, if you want someone to design your packaging, I have a freelance person who was amazing artist that helped me, and we did it. But if he wasn't willing to do it, the other option was paying, because there's so much to it that it took us a lot of time to do it because we didn't know what we were doing. And now I understand why it's more than just like, packaging's everything. So it's a lot of money. I mean, we did it at I think we skimmed where we could and we did what we can, but
Yeah.
it costs companies a lot of money to make these. Both products are very expensive. So
Yeah, no, this kind of just shows, because I interview both, service-based companies and people with products as well, entrepreneurship products, and it just shows how much more is needed for a product. Like, you can't just get up and just start selling something, especially if you want to come up with something new. And where do you see yourself though? Just let's say 6 months from now, what is the next plan? For you, for KNucks, what is the next plan?
I'm trying to get it. I'm reaching out to retailers now, so hopefully we want retail distribution. If I can have it my way, I would want retailers before being an online retailer. The goal is to be a distributor, not a sole online distributor.
Why is that? If there's so many people who reach outline.
Because distribution's, it's more profitable. It's definitely the better way to go. You
mean like a big box stores, or?
I want to get in a store. Yeah, like I want to get in a retailer. I want to. It's the type of product that I think will do well in a store. I mean, people will buy it online, but developing the brand like recognition and stuff, I think even if it was like an exclusive partner, having it, it helps. But I don't want to just, there's so many online retailers, and I don't want to just sell on Amazon and
yeah.
I want to ship one product at a time. I want to ship cases to, I want to, it's a lot of quantities. It's not like one, I don't want to sell one or two pieces here and there.
Well, now on to our listeners' favorite segment of the show.
Welcome to the round.
I don't know how much you know about this.
They're all taken.
We purposely did not prep you or give you too much insight before the show, but in this round, you get 5 seconds. 5 seconds. That's it to initiate an answer. Just throw something out there. We don't want you thinking too much. We want to dive more deep into the real Nick Rico and see what you're about. Otherwise, Steve Wiley. Everybody knows him as the leg breaker. He comes out and I have to deal with him, and I like my legs. So without further ado, what is your favorite movie?
Iron Man.
Favorite book?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
How do you drink your coffee?
With a lot of sugar.
What's your favorite Thai dish?
Oh, that's easy. Pineapple fried rice.
Are you wearing KNucks underwear right now?
Yes, I am.
Solid answer. There's one thing you have to consume every single day, something that you have to eat or drink or wear. What is it?
That's a good one. Definitely coffee, peanut butter.
What kind?
Pizza. I eat pizza every day.
So you eat pizza?
I eat terrible. My diet's horrible.
Damn. Every day, man. I would think you'd be a lot bigger if this was in the video call and I couldn't see you.
No, I eat like a very fat person. It doesn't look like it, but I do.
If you're stranded at an island and it's the only island left and you're the only person left, there's no people, what is the one thing you want with you?
Fuck nobody. What the fuck you doing? Nobody.
There's nothing. There's no one.
I don't need anybody. I'm good.
You don't need anything?
Just Yeah, no, I'm good.
At least want like a refresher spray.
No, I can have me, everything with me, but nothing.
If we had a serious business meeting right now and I walked in with socks and sandals, what would you think of me? And would you even talk to me?
It's funny you said that. My one of the arborists I work with, we're in tree care, right? Like you don't show up to people's property in socks and sandals. This guy does, and
No,
I yell at him
I
every day. I judge him every day for it because his toes are like he could pick up fish out of the ocean with them. Absolutely.
Well, you still work with him, right?
Yeah, yeah, he's great.
So it's good. It's good, man. So in case we ever start actually working together, I know that.
Business with him, and that's how he shows up. So I'm not gonna judge.
I mean, but does he at least wear Nux underwear?
No, he can't afford it. What are you kidding?
Right. Well, last but not least, how do you feel about entrepreneurism? Is it a fad?
No, not now. I think it's like, I think the millennials especially, they just don't want traditional anything. But I do think you got to do it for the right reasons. And this is a good point. I am not motivated by money. I am not making any money through my vet. So like, you have to literally be crazy to be an entrepreneur because the amount of money I spend it's not for the money. I mean, it may make me money, but I'm not doing it. That's not my motivator. So just putting it out there, it's not why I wake up every day at all. So
For everybody watching out there, I think this was a first. You actually got me to cry during this episode. Those are actual tears. I actually cried of laughter. So props to you, man. Props to you. That was good. That was good. But I want you to kind of go further into that. So what drove you to do all this? Clearly you just said, you're not exactly killing it yet. So what even drove you to do it?
I'm not selling yet, so we can't be killing it. But you know, I don't know. It's something in you that you wake up and you feel like you have this purpose that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy my work, and I like making money. But this, as I said, it's more about, I don't know. I want to solve a problem, and I definitely want to create something that is different, and I want to, it's more about the product. It's more about just doing something for yourself. Ultimately, I definitely want to work fully for myself and have my own name on something. I think that's my motivator. So.
Awesome. Well, Nick Rico, it's definitely been a pleasure having you on. If it definitely can't wait to see where you're going to be in 6 months from now. But right now, the mic is yours. So any final thoughts, anything else you want to share with the listeners? The mic is all yours.
Yeah, just keep following. If you have dreams, I would say just keep following them, and definitely don't give up.
Yeah, and kind of focus. I guess if you could add in a little bit more about KNucks, why did you create this product specifically? Just like, lastly,
So I think there was a need in the men's market for both. I felt that men's care products, I think they lack. I didn't feel like they solved my needs. So having one product that kind of does multiple things, I'm all about keeping it simple. And same with the underwear. I just feel like there's nothing that really is like KNucks underwear. I've worn a lot of underwear and products, and I think I've created two really awesome quality pieces that they solve needs, they improve function, fit, and I want to kind of set the standard for men's hygiene, and just kind of most of the products we have don't really take care of our needs. They're just it's not about that. None of this stuff seems to be about that. So I kind of wanted that brand for us, and just be a men's brand that inspires camaraderie, positivity, and uplifts other guys. That it's all about us and just making us better and promoting masculinity. I think it's a good thing. So
Awesome. Well, I'll be waiting for my underwear too. Not gonna lie.
We'll get 'em.
Can't let you off the hook this easily, man. Can't let you off the hook. But awesome, man. Great stuff. Looking forward to what's up next. Everybody, that's Nucks. The website is mynucks.com. Be sure to check out more about Nick Rico and his story. Mynucks.com. You can check out his Facebook, Nucks Underwear. That's KNucks.
Good.
KNucks. I know everybody. Well, yeah, but it's we got that one. Don't worry, we got you covered. And on Instagram at Nucks Up. But the best place is mynucks.com, and you can find them all there. Nick Rico, it's been a pleasure. Can't wait to talk to you more.
You too.
That is all for this episode of Boss to Boss. Your next step is to visit bosstoboss.com, where you will find proven techniques followed by professionals to help you make that next step. Again, that is boss2boss.com. And remember, the time is now.